wow, a lot since last week here. So here's the board. So this is the issues that we are discussing on this call. And as promised, I have a new board. These are just some of the blog posts I'm working on, and there's a bunch. So I'll just blow through it real fast. Here's some of them. Nothing's decentralized, ghost minting. So some of this is programming, some of this is blockchain, some of this is Web3, some of this is other stuff I'm working on related to specific incidents, hacks. Here's a big one. If you're an expert on these topics, let's talk. Some of these topics, actually, I'm looking to co-publish. If there's a very significant mainstream media place that I might publish some of these things, I'm looking to co-publish. I'm not quite yet looking for, tech media or stuff like that. And so there's not a lot here yet. This is my new blog, so I have another blog, and I'll be porting the articles over into this blog. So I've spent a really long time figuring out how to make this blog look, and after years and years and years, it's up. So I'm happy to get new articles on here, and I spend a lot of time on blogs, whether I'm researching facial hair, hacking things, breaking GitHub pages to hack, everything I'm doing, I'll do it to publish. So publishing for me is important, and this is where it'll go. So you can get an RSS feed. There's less than one blog post a month, and you can get emails. You will get less than an email a month. These are the emails basically all about me. So sign up for that, and get an email a few times a year. Yo, what's up? Shiner from Twitter. Okay, here's some. Our most NFT securities. Oh, no, Bruno, everything's on topic here. So 50-50. I mean, a lot of NFTs are securities because, they could be. Let's put it that way. They're securities, but also securities is a very broad word, and security, not all securities get hit by the Howey test. The Howey test, securities that fail the Howey test, that's the more important question in this world. How do you avoid, and that's related to how to avoid going to jail selling NFTs, or how to go to jail selling NFTs. So the Howey test is basically, are you a fungible security? And as I said, a lot of times, NFTs are legit, DeFi is a scam. So a lot of NFTs are securities, but they don't get hit by the Howey test. So that's an important distinction. And very few NFTs get hit by the Howey test. Why do you promote smoking by making it cool? Half joke. This photo is actually, so I have a photo studio here. I do boudoir with my wife. So, sexy photos, brides to be, stuff like that. There's our little photo studio here. She does the makeup, I do the photos. So this is a self-portrait I did. So we're talking about this photo. And this is based on a photo shoot of Hugh Laurie from GQ. I would love to know which the photographer is for this, because you can't even find the original of this photo. There's so many copies of it. Here's the photo. Here it is. Yep. This photo. This is the photo. So this is my, tribute to that photo. See the resemblance? There you go. It's Hugh Laurie is promoting smoking, and I'm just giving props to a good photo. But got my hair cut because I'm planning on doing another photo shoot soon, maybe without smoking. Looks very cool to see a browser-based decentralized game. Yeah, that's cool. There's a lot of them out there. So there's plenty of games. I should probably make a directory or something. What will the topic be? What are we talking about? What are you talking about, D? What topic? Do you think there will be instant transaction in the future for games? No, transactions are good for certain things. So, Dunya, what we're talking about is, are games going to be mostly on the blockchain? Like transactions keeps hitting the blockchain all the time? I don't think so. I think transactions are going to hit the blockchain when you're buying things. And remember, NFTs have been around for thousands of years, or at least 500 years since notaries public in Britain. But there's a lot of games with NFTs 10, 20, 30 years ago. One of the very popular games today that has NFTs that are not on blockchain is FIFA World Cup. You can buy stuff in there. You can sell the things. There are NFTs. You can trade players. Maybe there's semi-fungibles or NFTs. But those trades aren't happening constantly with the FIFA marketplace. So I think that in the future, business models don't change, only business practices change. So I think we will see some of these things settled on blockchain, but that doesn't change the fact that the marketplace is not in the center of the game. The marketplace is on the side of the game. I think NFTs are going to be the marketplace. And so the games will continue to be moving a lot faster than the marketplace. Speaking link, Talon link. Any recommendations for good NFT lawyers? Yes, actually, Philadelphia is a great place for NFT law, and I might be able to recommend some people, but you got to tell me a lot more about your project. I don't recommend people until I know about what I'm recommending. Also, NFT lawyers, there's NFT law, but there's also securities law. These are different things. So if you're planning on selling a token or having a token sale, let's say like that, you might want to find a lawyer that's specialized in securities law. If you're looking for something that's not raising capital, but maybe securitizing an asset, then you're looking for a lawyer that would be more specialized in blockchain. There are lawyers that do securities law and blockchain and fundraising. That's a thing. Because, for example, if you're going to, let's say, do a token raise and you want to, raise money for your project through a token, well, that includes registering a company, setting up in a different jurisdiction to jurisdiction job to find favorable regulatory environments so that you can minimize your amount of compliance requirements. What's the most crypto-friendly country to create an NFT company from? Well, some of the I'll give you the common advice from that. Common advice is Switzerland. So one of my clients is Ariani. It's a Parisian company from Paris, and they work with luxury goods. And so they're domiciled in Switzerland because it was very friendly under FINMA, their financial authority. They did a token raise there, and they also did NFTs there. So this was very good for them. If you're going to do any type of money thing, Switzerland is still in play. FINMA is way better than the United States under SEC or Treasury. There's actually CFTC. They're kind of competing on it's kind of a turf battle to figure out who's regulating that. So that's tough. You don't want, US is not the place you want to start this type of business if you're doing a token raise. What's up, D? Hillary Clinton article will get a lot of views. I've got a lot of topics that I want to go through that are related to security. I've got plenty to talk about for security. What is security? What is threat analysis? I guess maybe this is like street smarts, like the George Costanza thing, where it's like Elaine walks in, hey, I heard you're going to that thing tonight. And George's trying to lie. George is like, no, I'm not going to that thing. And then Elaine says, well, Jerry told me. And George says, oh, Jerry, why did you tell her that? This situation, this 3-player game that happened, so Elaine just extracted information hostilely from George about something, and Jerry's like, see, you got something like, he does one, I don't know what he says, but he does one of those. There's probably a name for this, and so I want to go into these type of scenarios because these are very applicable to, Byzantine fault tolerance, consensus mechanisms. The same types of problems we're solving with blockchain are very difficult with anonymized situations. What's this have to do with Hillary Clinton? Well, I'll just give you the answer. I got the punchline written before the article on this one. I learned that from Dave Chappelle. But the answer is, who leaked Hillary Clinton's emails? Does anybody know the answer to that? If you didn't click on it. So tell me in the notes, who leaked Hillary Clinton's emails? That is a great question. It's a simple answer. You tell me, and I'll scroll down, and if anybody guesses, I'll tell you the answer. So say your answer and quickly why. How to go to jail by selling NFTs. Yep, you just need to sell NFTs that are securities, or you need to do just ridiculous things that a lot of people are doing now, where they're selling NFTs, but they're promising to buy them back, or using staking, which is, all these techniques are just really unregistered securities, as in investment security vehicles. You don't want to do that. Preparing questions. What's up, Dunya? What do you think about ERC 721A? Happy with that. ERC 721A is good. Let me give you the official tweet on that. I got that question a few times, so I'll just give you my official answer on that. Congratulations on that. So I did congratulate the team. So nothing wrong with it. It's an implementation. It appears to be working fine. There are some trade-offs. The trade-off is that it's cheaper to mint and more expensive to transfer. And that's a smart trade-off. So when you're minting it, you can mint a lot of them very cheaply. And when you're trading them, it can be more expensive. And, there's some limits on that when it could get really expensive when you're trading it. Is my wife Sue? My wife is Sue. Wife is Sue, and that is what Sue Squares is named after. What's up, Chopper? Been around for 500 years. NFTs have been around for, is that the, yep. All right, that's a solid block title. Let's put it in there. When I teach classes on like intro to blockchain or whatever, that's one of the lines. It's like NFTs have been around for 500 years. Just the next item. So in progress, we got a merge request. So one of the topics that we're working on here is just to go through the Ethereum, the Solidity style guide. And we're just looking at some of the things that are out there in the style guide. We want to promote a nice style guide so that this will help people write Solidity code. This PR aims to remove the use of underscore prefix using variable parameter and function names throughout the code examples. Beautiful. Okay, we had a little error here somewhere. Okay, from 2. Okay, so let me just ping. I think there's one. So this is a monster PR. There's 16 files changed. And so we're just changing a lot of things. And Solidity is great because it has a lot of automated testing. So it picked up on an error, it flagged it, and it even makes sure that the examples compile like in the documentation. So it's really good. He got hit by one of these errors, and so I just got a nice little one-line fix here, which I think that'll fix it. Okay, next. So this one is ready to go. Yule style guide discussion. So Yule is a different language. It's related to Solidity. And the question is, should the Yule style guide be different? We should have an opinion on this before we ask other people. Some references from the Yule docs. So there are some references to Yule style throughout. Let's see, style. Draft. Let's try So we're just looking at different ways that, let's make this bigger. So do we want the Yule style guide to connect the Solidity style guide? So should the Solidity style guide cover Yule? Let's make this prescriptive. You do a couple more of these and then Go back to questions. Clarify blank lines. The question here is, there are some blank lines. There's opinions in the style guide related to where you should have vertical white space. Let's just see what the note is here. So yeah, so we made a little progress. We went through some different items on our board here. Yeah. All right, cool. Made a little progress. Let's get back to Q&A. Switzerland will not accept US founders. Not a problem. You can use partners. You can use, I've seen organizations created there for this. You definitely need a local partner for Switzerland for incorporating a project in Switzerland. And they have a whole industry for that. So this pro tip is live. Allows you to save 22K gas, maybe more, maybe less. You don't need to make trade-offs. Using this can use the remaining bits. You can hitchhike, yes. Extremely common case for whitelist minting. You can save the extra load, yes. This achieves gas parity with contracts that do not store address balances anyway. Yes, so they need to store something. You can store any kind of variable for each address. Think about this for a second. Is there any way you could do a whitelist minting without any storage? No. Maybe. Only if you prevented people from transferring or if you went in like an order. None of those are weird things. So yeah, that's all I have to say about whitelisting and that comment from Vectorized. Then it was conflicted between UN64 and 256. Got it. Why do they choose UN 256? Okay, that's a specific question I can answer. Here's why. The only time you'll ever use Solidity and pick something less than UN 256 is when you are storing it. And that's because in the call data, everything's passed as 256 bits. The word, the EVM word, everything's acted on as 256 bits. So there's no reason to do anything other than 256 bits, except when you're storing. Because when you store 256 bits at a time, if you can store multiple things at the same time, then you're only doing one storage location. The only time we optimize, the first pass when we optimize on smart contracts is we just want to manage the storage. The storage is basically the only thing we want to optimize. If you're doing something fancy, or we're editing open Zeppelin contracts, which is used all the time, that's when we do fancy stuff, or we really want to optimize. Otherwise, most applications, they don't need to optimize at all. So Why do we choose 64 bits instead of 256? Here's why. This is called struct address data, and if we look at the storage, there's going to be a mapping for addresses to address data. This storage is kept one per owner. So if you own NFTs, you are storing something about you. And if you transfer the NFT to somebody else, we're going to store something about them. And the thing that we're storing could just be a balance. So if we look at Open Zeppelin contracts, this is one implementation of ERC 720. So here, we want total supply. So it's going to keep that. Wait, total supply is enumerable. No, it's not. Total supply of owner. Balance of, there we go. Balance of is stored somewhere. So Open Zeppelin stores balances into balances of owner. Hope you're keeping up. Tell me to slow down if you need. And so mapping owner address to token count. This is how Open Zeppelin contracts does it. They're using 256 bits to track how many tokens you bought. Even with the heat death of the universe, you could never buy that many tokens. It's too many tokens. So recognizing that we will all be dead before the heat death of the universe, you can use a smaller number to do this counting, and you have to transfer these one by one or batches. So actually, now wait a minute here. Okay, balance. Safe mint. Okay, so this is wrong. So it allows you to mint up to UN256, but actually that is hard limited at UN64. This is an internal function, so we may want to. That's probably a bug. Let's call this a bug. To internal safe mint. Safe mint mint before token transfers. After token transfers. Okay. So back to your question. The question was, why are we using 64 bits of aux? And here's why. There's one storage location. The goal is to fit this whole struct into one slot. The number of token balance is only 64 bits. And because the balance is 64 bits, the number minted could be 64 bits, and the number burned could be 64 bits. And then the reason why is just 256 minus 64 minus 64 minus 64 leaves 64 bits left. And they totally could have used 48 bits here, 48 bits here, 48 bits here, and whatever's left. That gives you another 48 bits. So, that's cool. You could use 32 bits. Are you really going to have more than 4 billion tokens? No. So these are all fine. It was nice and clean to use 64-bit here and then leave you with 64 bits left. That is why they left 64 bits here instead of 256. Does that answer your question? Done, yeah. By the way, people still don't know well the difference between mint and safe mint. Here's the difference. When you use safe mint, so there's a transfer and safe transfer functions in NFT ERC 721 and a lot of other token standards. When you use a safe transfer, it gives execution context to the recipient when they receive a token. So what does that mean? I send you a token, you're a person, the token just goes to your account, no big deal. If you're a contract and I send you a token, it actually calls into you and gives you an opportunity to do something at the time you receive the token. Now there's some vulnerabilities related to this, which are well known. Gas tokens, you could do things with that context. It could be reentrant. So sending you a token, you could re-enter into the code. That could be nasty if the people are not well prepared for that. And so the difference between safe mint and mint is that when you safe mint, only if the recipient is a smart contract, it will then have the opportunity to do something when it receives the token. One of the benefits of this whole situation is that it allows, when we're sending a token to a contract, it allows us to know that the contract wants to receive the token. This prevents us from lost tokens or stuck tokens where we send a token to a contract, the contract wasn't expecting to receive a token, and now the token's lost. The contract can't do anything with it. There's other ways to do this. Safe transfer was the mechanism we came on with ERC 721. I probably wouldn't use that. In hindsight, that's not the best choice. There's a better way to do it. And so if I'm working on another blockchain, not Ethereum, that wants to do it a different way, I would propose a different way to do that. Also, not just looking back and saying we made a poor choice. There's a benefit of having done it that way in 2018 when NFTs were not so popular. It was kind of a scaffolding thing. Like some of the decisions we made in 2018 were great for 2018, even knowing that the future was coming. But now that we're in the future, some of the decisions, if we were going to make the NFT standard today, with as much awareness about NFTs, we might do a couple things differently. And so there's no need to change these on Ethereum. It's good enough for now. But if we don't need the scaffolding for a new blockchain, I might do it differently. And I might be working with a new blockchain. So I'm in discussions. I might have some news soon about me working with another blockchain. So becoming an advisor, either for the blockchain as a whole or for some specific things they're doing. Stay tuned for news about that. I'm talking to one of them. It's been a while, and one of them's hot. So I might get involved with an L1. So always looking for your feedback on who I might, Doge is an L1. So that could be it. That's in the universe. And, colored coins, you can do NFTs on Doge. You can do NFTs on a fungible token L1. Like you can do NFTs on Bitcoin too. There you go.